Hey everyone, Simon here. An amusing little thing I was thinking about on my walk today. As I was walking to the store, I try to walk a certain amount of miles every day just to keep this educator brain active, because educator types like myself try to use their heads too much, and which is another way of saying we sit too much. So walking is a wonderful exercise, and for more types of exercise and more ideas, my book, The Five Dharma Types, has a whole section on this. But today I'm going to talk about how to pick your type of exercise based on your nakshatra. Your nakshatra, if you don't know, is your birth asterism, the star that you were born under. And there's a saying that says, unos nacen con estrella, otros de estrellados, in Spanish, which says some are born under a star, like a lucky star, and others are born starstruck, meaning confused. Well, myself, I'm in the latter category. I was born and still am fairly confused, but this process of delving into Vedic astrology and ancient tradition has been the process of becoming less starstruck and more aligned with my own lucky star, if you will, with my own dharma. And this is the ultimate purpose of this science, which is to align you with your higher purpose. And one of the things all of us do in daily life is we eat and do some form of exercise, even if we don't call it exercise. And so here's one simple, interesting way to find out the right diet for your mind-body type and the right type of exercise, or at the very least, the right type of physical movement, the right type of fitness and exercise. So here goes. This is based on finding what in essence is your spirit animal, okay? And in Vedic astrology, the nakshatras, the Vedic asterisms, are connected to a particular kind of animal, and you see the list. You should see the list here on your screen. Now, what we're going to do is take your rising nakshatra. We're not going to use the star of the moon, which is typically used. We're going to use the star of your ascendant. So if your ascendant is in Ashwini, Botany, Pusha, and so on, it will be in these. The spirit animal will be respectively a horse, elephant, or a goat. And we'll also use the star of your Mars. So wherever your Mars is placed. So we're going to use those two, okay? And we're going to use this primarily for fitness. So let's get started. Let me give you an example of how you can use this. So first of all, Ashwini, the horse, which really should be called Ashwinyao because it's two horses, but that's another thing. The horse has to do, what does the horse love to do? It runs. So any kind of activities in which running is involved, prana, the movement of your life breath. So Ashwini and Shatabishak or Shatabisha are the nakshatras related to the horse. What do horses do? They also run in packs. So running with others. So this can be track and field. This can be soccer, right? Where you run with a team, or any activity in which your breath is involved, where you're running a lot, okay? That's a horse. Or literally equestrianship, right? Like riding horses. If your ascendant or your Mars is in a Bharani nakshatra or a Revati nakshatra, then your spirit animal, if you will, is the elephant. What are elephants good at? Well, they walk a lot. They walk for miles, so walking. Elephants also bear weight, meaning heavy weightlifting is good for these types. They can take it. Their bones can take it, right? If their ascendants or your Marses are in an elephant star, nakshatra, asterism, then heavy weightlifting, walking, elephant type of activities, things where you break through obstacles, like being a running back in football, right? Where your job is to break a tackle. or being the defensive back, or being the line person who blocks the person from, breaking the line. Any of those are good. Even something like wrestling, deadlifting, Olympic weightlifting, stuff like that. Okay, Botany. Now, also consider the deity associated with each nakshatra. So the deity of Botany is Lord Yama. And Lord Yama is associated with twilight. And so for these people, the time of day that they may choose to train would be either early in the morning or at the closing of the day. This is something to consider. Again, keep this under consideration. None of these are hard and fast rules, because obviously you have a chart that's more than just an ascendant. It's more than just your Mars placement. Next, we come to Cryptic and Pusha. These are the sheep or goat stars. Now, what do sheep like to do? They love to be on grass, right? Because they graze all the time. And sheep aren't really, they don't move a lot. They're more sedentary. So if you have a sheep or goat nakshatra, it may be difficult for you to get motivated. You may just want to kind of lie around and sleep and graze most of the time. But one way to get you motivated is to be outside, be on the grass. Grass seems to rejuvenate this type. Or, because it's alternately a goat, goats love to climb on top of things. So climbing, rock climbing, mountain climbing is good. Any sport that's played on the grass is also good. Kritika, the deity, is also Agni. So Agni has to do with the sun. So being outside, again, outdoor events rather than indoor stuff. So stuff like basketball would be out, like indoor handball or swimming, would be out, because those go against the quality of Kritika, which is fire. So water puts fire out. So swimming may not be the best pastime for this type. Pusha or Tishya, the symbolism is a flower, again, and one of the symbols. And so flowers bloom outside. So again, this idea of being outside in the fields. Then we come to Rohini and Mrigashira. And let's make that a short E. Good. It's either Mrigashirsham or Shirsha or Mrigashira. There's two ways to say head in Sanskrit. Shira or Shirsham. And so you can mix them up. Anyway, so this is the snake. So what does the snake love? It loves to slither. Okay, so this type, I have a friend who gave me an anecdote who is a gymnast. But what type of gymnastics does she do? Rhythmic gymnastics, where she twirls the thing that looks like a snake, the ribbon, right? These are also wonderful for dance, where you move your body. Okay, just pretend that what I'm doing is dancing. Where you move your body sinuously in a curvilinear fashion. So dance is a great activity. Also things on the ground like yoga, okay, like cobra pose, plow pose, shavasana. Those are the only 3 yoga poses I know because they're easy and they're on the ground. No, but yoga, with a lot of the asanas of which are done with your body along the ground. So these are very good. And the deity of Mrigashirsha is Soma, the moon. So again, this can give, and the moon is juiciest at night. So again, this person may like working out more at night. They may love to be on a supplement regime, because Soma has to do with supplements, with the nectar of immortality. So they're obsessed with finding the right combination of herbs, pills, and so on to make them feel immortal. Kritika also suffers from this obsession, which is that desire to be on all the time. I got to be on, right? When I present myself, 3, 2, 1, are we on? We are on, and we're live, right? That's Kritika has that quality. And Mrigashirsha is looking for that quality through the nectar of immortality. All right? So that's the snake. The snake is also very strong when it's grabbing onto things. So things like arm wrestling, things like wrestling or jujitsu, where you are intertwining with someone else, is very good for snake animal. Look, guys, use your imagination. These are just beginning points, suggestions for you, okay? Next, we come to the dog. And now, there is some authorities say Ardra is a female dog, and that's what's out there mostly in the public. But there are some very respected authorities who say Ardra is a male dog. Likewise, there are experts who say Chitra is a female tiger, while others say Chitra is a male tiger. And that's why I've put these two in both categories. In my opinion, it doesn't matter. You can intertwine them. But that's more for the purposes of compatibility, which this is a pro forma from my compatibility protocol, as you can see here, which if you don't have it yet, it's on my website, the complete compatibility protocol. Check it out. It's more than you'll ever want to know about compatibility, okay? It was supposed to be 5 classes. It ended up being something like 12, 13 classes. Anyhow, back to this. So if you are the dog, think about what a dog likes to do. First of all, a dog is goal-oriented. You know, they chase something, they hunt. So any sport in which you have a chase, so car racing, auto racing, yacht racing, even horse racing, things like this. The dogs need to achieve a goal. They want to complete a task to satisfy their master. So hunting, things like that. Things that archery, right? Sports in which a specific goal is to be accomplished. Now, the Mula and Ardra both have to do with the forest. So the dog has a lot to do with being outside, hiking, chasing things, you know, bike, what do you call it? Mountain biking, trail running, trail riding, because Ardra and Mula have to do with forests. They have to do with Rudra, who is the deity who lives in the forest, who is outside of society. And so this type may find exercise to be most fulfilling when they're, again, outside, but not unlike the sheep, not in just plain fields or parks. Sheep love parks, like a soccer field or a baseball diamond, but Ardra likes more wild, right? Dogs do like the water, so it can be being out in the ocean, exploring the depths of the ocean, but it can also be exploring the depths of nature, wherever it is. Okay? Then we come to the cat, Punarvasu and Ashlesha. So cat is the laziest animal in the sense that it sleeps a lot, and but when it is awake, it does love to play. So sports that are like play, you know, if you're a cat type, if your ascendant or your Mars is in a cat star, you probably get bored with exercise. Just think about it. Put your cat on a treadmill. It'll last 20 seconds and it'll go, okay, I need to do something else now. Let me play the piano. The cat does go in bursts and it hunts. It hunts mice and so on. So cats need something playful, jujitsu, martial arts, because they're quick. Their hands are super quick, right? They like to boxing, and also they tend to work at night. So now for Punarvasu, the deity is Aditi, and the symbol is a quiver of arrows. So obviously archery, you know, knife throwing, stuff like that. And for Ashlesha, the deities are the Nagas. So you can make your own inferences there. And Going down the line, I'm going to skip a few. Using the symbology of these should give you an idea. Like Danishta, the symbol is a drum, that's rhythm. So working out to music will be very important. Its symbol is a lion. How do lions hunt? They're like the cat, they're dormant most of the time, but then they sprint, right? All out effort and then relaxation. They're not Pilates, is not for them. You know, marathons are not for them. Lions and tigers are sprinters. They want to jump, devour the thing, get it over with, and go home, right? Whether it's weightlifting, they're going to go all out, rest. So intermittent kind of training, high intensity training. Whereas the deer or the rabbit will tend to be more long, or the buffalo especially. The buffalo roam the plains. They're more, they can run forever, right? Maybe I should go through all of these. You get, some of you are going to be mad. Oh, you didn't get to my nakshatra. All right, let's do them. I just wanted to keep this video fairly short, but I guess that's not going to happen. So rat, Purva Palguni. Who's the deity of Purva Palguni? It is Bhaga, I believe. Yeah, and Magha. So whose deities are the Pitris. So so what does a rat like to do? Well, again, it's another night creature. And Purva Palguni has to, the symbol is the phallus, the Shiva Linga. So things related to sex, like again, like dance, like you know, working your abs, like you know, hula, like things that have a sensual element to them, not football. Okay, again, if you're a rat, football, at least the part of football that is, you know, the brutal part, is not for you. By the way, Punarvasu, which is the cat, remember the quiver of arrows? That can also be a quarterback, someone who throws the ball and then gets it back, because it's the quiver of arrows that you shoot it and it comes back to you. So if you're a good quarterback, you throw the ball and your team keeps the ball, you get to throw it again, and you get to throw it again, and you get to throw it again. You get it? If you're a bad quarterback, you throw it, the other team gets it. So Punarvasu, good nakshatra for quarterbacks, potentially. I don't know. We can do the research. I just thought of that. So back to the rat. So what activities are good for the rat? Probably not heavy weight lifting, but things that require subtlety, things that require finesse. The rat is also always chewing on things. So their diet may consist of eating more often. So most of the animals here that are prey, like the deer, the sheep, even the horse, the buffalo, meaning they are vegetarians, those tend to be vegetarian, but also to graze most of the day. The animals that are the predators, like the lion, the tiger, the cat, the snake, those need to eat less often, but when they do, they can eat a whole bunch and then do intermittent fasting in between. And those types generally do more intense exercise versus the endurance exercise. And if you've had your 23andMe genetic testing done, you can see how much of type 2 muscle fibers you have versus type 1 muscle fiber. So type 2 muscle fiber is the sprinter's fiber. It's the one that tends to bulk up, but is not good at long endurance events. Type 1 muscle fiber is less bulky, but it handles long-term endurance events better, okay? So you can see that on 23andMe. Again, we can do a study to see if it correlates to your spirit animal based on your ascendant and Mars. Okay, moving on to the cow. Uttara Bhadrapada. and Uttara Palguni. So the cow is, again, a grazing animal. And the cow is an animal that likes to be outside, but the cows tend to be very still. They don't run. So again, events that require, what are sports that require you to be still? Well, weightlifting, again, comes to mind. Sports that, what do cows or bulls typically do is they pull plows, so pulling heavy weights, strong men contests, strong women contests. They bear burdens. Okay, so again, if you're in football, you're the person blocking the line. Yoga is good for cows because again, there's this affinity for nature and being close to the earth. Yeah, that's all I can say about them at the moment. So then buffalo. Buffalo is similar to cow, except they run. Okay. And looking at the deity of each one of these may be more useful because hasta has to do with skill with the hands. So hand skill is tennis, right? Where you spin the ball. Hand skill is basketball. Anything having to do with strong hand skills, quarterback, wide receiver, baseball. I wonder how good cows would be at baseball because there's not a lot of running really. So cow would probably make a good first baseman, right? First baseman's job is to stand and just stretch and catch the ball. Anyway, just projecting here. But for buffalo, Swati is another one of these nakshatras that has to do with prana. This is a big deal. Ashwini and Swati, their deity is very close, or their meaning, their symbolism is very closely related to Vayu, the god of the wind. And so Swati needs to run free. All right. So any kind of sport where endurance and the breath is activated, very important. So buffalo, in juxtaposition to the cow, buffalo is a runner, right? Then tiger. What can I say? Intense physical activity and rest. Not training all day. The cow can train all day long, and that's why the tiger is the enemy of the cow. The tiger, train for an hour, as intense as possible, and then go to sleep. Tigers are also loners. So tigers probably are not team players. So team sports, like buffalo would be good at team sports. Why? Because it runs with other buffalo. Rats are familial. They live together. Horses together. Elephants together. Sheep definitely together. Snakes, loners. Right? Dogs can go both ways. Cats can go both ways. Cats tend more to be loners. Rats familial. Cow are definitely family. Kine are definitely family oriented. What's the plural of cow? It's cows, but also kine, Kine, in case you didn't know that. Buffalo, definitely familial. Tiger, loners, right? Monkeys, more familial, I think. Yeah, familial. I don't see any solo monkeys out there. Deer or rabbits. Rabbits are familial. Lions, familial, but they can also be loners. And the mongoose, I have no idea. So that gives you an idea of team sports versus individual sports. All right, but the tiger is definitely individual. And tigers probably like to make their own rules and their own workouts. Why? Because the deity of Chitra is Vishvakarma, the person who makes the rules, who makes the homes, and who is the architect, the chief architect. And if you're the chief architect, you don't like playing by someone else's rules, you like to make the rules. So the tiger usually makes up their own workout programs. Then we come to the rabbit and the deer. And I'm going to let you guys think of this one because I'm running out of time here. Monkey. How about monkey? Gymnastics. You're hanging on to stuff. You're flipping. You're doing, right? Monkeys, gymnastics, jiu-jitsu, martial arts. Why? Because you have tremendous grip strength, you're agile, pole vaulting, stuff like that. Monkeys very, because Purvashada, the deity is Apas. So monkey, this can actually be really good for water sports. The deity of Purvashada is Apas, the water deity. There are some others who would be connected with the water as well, particularly those that fall in water signs, and others that are related to fire, like the Bhadrapadas and Kritika, and those would probably thrive under the sun, right? Not in the water. So the monkey, gymnastics, if it's Purvashada, water sports, if it's Shravana, air sports. Why? Because the ruling star of Shravana is Altair, the eagle. So if you are a monkey, you fly through the canopy of the forest. So trampoline, American Ninja Warrior, gliding, anything having to do with being in the air. Circus performers, trapeze, right? Shravana star is related to that. Then lion, again, we talked about lion, sprinting sports where you want to dominate your opponent. So obviously the king of the jungle is willing to fight for it. They like to be the best. The Nishta, the deity, is the Vasudeva, so they are the best at what they do. And so with lion, there's a very strong competitive instinct. Purva Bhadrapada, what do we have? We have Ajaikapada. Aja, Ekapada, depends on how you read that. Aja means goat, Ekapada means 1 foot, so the one-footed goat. So it's a goat doing specific sadhana, standing on 1 foot. Or Aja can also mean Aja, the unborn, Ekapada, the one who stands on 1 foot or who's one-footed, who is unborn. Anyway, it's probably a obscure form of Shiva, or there's a strong spiritual element to this. But whatever the case, it means being the only one, being the one on top. Both the Nishta and Purva Bhadrapada indicate needing to be the best. And if you're not the best, well, God damn it, I'm going to work. I'm going to either die or be the best. So with the lion, we get the most competitive spirit, the Nishta and Purva Bhadrapada. Sure, any of the others can be highly competitive. The tiger, certainly. Any of them, really. Sheep, I don't know. But the best goat, well, maybe you're the goat that climbs the highest mountain, right? But the lion is clearly. So this person will need to compete against others to show themselves, to prove to themselves that they're the best. And finally, the mongoose. Mongoose is the only one who can do the thing. Who else can kill a cobra? Not the sheep, not the elephant, not the horse, not the dog. Maybe another snake, yeah, another cobra. But think about it. The mongoose is the one who does the impossible. And so for Uttarashada people, there's this sense of doing the impossible and doing exercises and fitness that no one else thought you could do. So anyway, I hope this is a good introduction. This video is a fair bit longer than I wanted it to be, but we went through all the nakshatras. If you have any questions or comments, leave a comment below, and I will see you in the next one. All right. And I do answer questions from time to time if they're very good questions, or if, but please don't send me your birth time and information and ask me to do charts, because obviously that's not appropriate. All right. Thanks, guys. See you later. Bye.